guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about PCOS. So if you can't tell by the title, obviously, right? So I have been recently diagnosed with PCOS the past few months. I have a definition of what exactly it is on my phone. I don't want to just tell you guys off the top of my head because I want this to be exactly right. So I just pulled up the proper definition and then I'm going to explain to you guys like what's been going on and how I found out and stuff like that. So basically it says polycystic ovarian syndrome, which PCOS is, polycystic ovarian syndrome, is also known as Stein-Leventhal syndrome. It is one of the most common hormonal endocrine disorders in women. PCOS has been recognized and diagnosed for 75 years. There are many signs and symptoms that a woman may experience. Since PCOS cannot be diagnosed with one test alone, symptoms vary from woman to woman. PCOS has been known as the silent killer. Early diagnosis of PCOS is important. It has been linked to increased risk for developing several medical risks, including insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and heart disease. It can also cause you to gain weight in like your tummy area, like more than like the normal person. It also creates multiple cysts on your ovaries. Cysts on your ovaries is like a major indicator of PCOS. So I noticed something different within my body like back in September, but I wasn't sure what was going on. In between my periods, I was bleeding. This is going to be very real, so if you guys can't take it, I suggest you click out of it now because I'm going to tell you guys like everything. So yeah, I had been experiencing bleeding in between my periods when I worked out, especially if I would go to the gym or do any kind of extensive workout, I would bleed. And I was like, what is going on? Like, this is strange. Why is this happening? So I had gone to see my gynecologist and she was just like, oh, it's probably your hormones. You just probably need birth control. I hadn't been on birth control in probably 9 years now. So I'm not really into the whole birth control thing. I like just natural. I'm just not for it. And I've never really had an issue with my period or anything like that. So this past year, I've just noticed something was going on. And I've gained an excessive amount of weight this past year that was not like normal for me. I've always kind of been in between 165 and 170 something, like 175. Like I've always fluctuated in between that weight. And I went to the doctor and I was 200 pounds, which is not normal for me. Like, you can't even tell, to be completely honest, because of my body type and just the way that I'm shaped. It just looked like I got a little bit thicker. It didn't look like, oh, she weighs 200 pounds or anything crazy, but you know, weight is different on everyone. So for me, I just knew that I was not fitting my clothes the same. I was gaining weight and I wasn't feeling my best. So I was just like, I need to go see a doctor. And I knew that it wasn't anything else. Like at first I thought, well, was I pregnant? You know, I didn't know. So I'm like, no, because I knew that I wasn't doing anything to fully really be pregnant. I don't know. It was crazy. I just didn't know what was going on with my body. I went to my gynecologist first and she was just like, oh, just take some birth control pills and you'll be fine. So she put me on the NuvaRing and it did nothing for me. I was still bleeding in between my periods and everything. So I was just like, this isn't right. Something's not right. I'm not feeling my best. I would get these like pains and cramps and I was just like, what is happening? So because of all of these symptoms and things that I was going through, I noticed that I was growing hair like on my face. But I know a lot of this is common with a lot of women with PCOS. You grow hair, facial hair, and hair, just excessive hair in general. So I was just like, what is happening here? Am I turning into a man? Like, what is going on? So I just really needed to figure this out. So my aunt had told me to go to a fertility doctor because it sounded like a hormonal issue to her. So I was just like, okay, maybe that's what it is. I should get a second opinion. My gynecologist was somewhere on the right track, but she wasn't like exactly sure what was happening. I went to see a fertility doctor, which is pretty common for them. They deal with a lot of women with PCOS. So as soon as I went and I had my little consultation and I talked to them about what was going on, she knew immediately what was wrong with me. Of course, she did tests. We did some blood work. She did an ultrasound and they found cysts on my ovaries. there was just a lot of things that stood out to her. You know, I was insulin resistant. I'm not diabetic, but PCOS can cause diabetes. It can lead to it. So it was just like a lot of things that were kind of red flags that I should be diagnosed with it. And I was just like, well, what do I do? Because I know one of the things with PCOS is infertility. And I obviously maybe one day might want to have a child. I'm not exactly sure. That's a whole other subject. But if I do, I want to be able to have one, which me personally, I leave those things up to God. That's not really my decision. If God decides I'm able to have children, then that will happen. So I'm not so much worried about the having kids aspect of it. I just want to be in my best health. So I immediately went home and I started doing some research and trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I do to help this? Because they told me there was no cure and the best thing for me to do was just lose some weight. Which was like, okay, that's not enough. I need a little more. So they put me on birth control, which I was totally just, I'm tired of hearing to be on birth control. That's just not my thing. It's funny coming from a fertility doctor to be on birth control, because she was just like, we don't normally do this, but if you're not trying to have kids right now, this may help you with your issue. So, you know, because obviously it's a fertility place and they don't recommend being on birth control. But for this situation, she was just like, if you don't want to have kids right now, go on birth control to fix your hormonal issue and just eat certain foods. So immediately I started doing research and I started looking into what I could do to help myself and to heal myself. So I went on YouTube and I was like, well, let me see if anybody has videos up about this. And there's so many on YouTube, like tons of women who have PCOS. It's crazy. And everybody seemed to talk about being vegan or going vegan or turning to a vegan diet or a plant-based lifestyle or vegetarians or whatever. So I'm like, okay, is meat the problem? So I had went on Pinterest and I started looking up like PCOS, and a lot of other women were posting art. There were so many articles and so much information out there as to how to heal it. And it seems to be the best way to heal this is through a vegan lifestyle, or not just a vegan lifestyle, but a plant-based diet. I've seen different ones or articles or nutrition facts and things that say you could just cut meat out and still be okay. And then I've seen people say completely cut dairy, meat, animal products out altogether and it will heal it. A lot of women say they healed their PCOS just through a vegan lifestyle in general, a vegan diet. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's a complete lifestyle change for me. But it's all starting to make sense now. So I don't know if I ever told you guys the story. I'm gonna make it real fast. I went to Punta Cana for one of my best friend's weddings, and I had went there and I ate the food and everything. I was fine while I was there. Literally getting off the plane coming home, I immediately had to run to the bathroom. I had diarrhea. I was throwing up. It was terrible. And I was just like, what is happening? This has never happened to me. So I was like, oh, maybe it's traveler's diarrhea, because I've heard of that, and I've heard that people get that when they go to other countries and come back and eat American food. It's just like, you're just like, it's a culture shock. It's a little different for you. So I thought it would pass. It never passed. Till this day, I cannot eat beef. I cannot eat pork, which I'm not crying about, but it was just one of those things where I just can't eat that stuff anymore ever since I went to Punta Cana. Now, I thought it was because I went out there. I don't know if me going out there and eating the meat in Dominican Republic and then coming home and eating our food changed me, but I noticed that when I would eat pork or beef, I don't know if it triggered something, you know, going there, but coming back home, I have not been able to eat those things since 3 years ago. I get extremely sick. Like, I throw up, I get diarrhea, like it's really bad. So, I don't eat it anymore. I haven't eaten beef or pork in years, like really, really eaten it. I actually had a bite of a cheesesteak stromboli recently, just to see. It was one of my friends. I was like, let me just taste this to see if I can do it. And the next day, I mean, it didn't happen right away, but the next day I was sick. So I was like, okay, you really just cannot eat that stuff anymore, which is fine. So I started to change my diet. The past 3 years, I've just only been eating like fish, salmon, turkey. Turkey is one of the biggest things I eat. Chicken, not as much as I eat turkey. So I've kind of just changed my lifestyle around. And I went on a fast last year and I cut out meat altogether. Interesting, because when I went back to eating meat after my 3-week fast, I felt weird. And I was just like, oh, my body feels so different. Like, I really feel different. But then I got used to it, but my body felt heavier. So I was just like, maybe I should become pescatarian. I don't know. I've been all over the place with what I should eat. And I've been seeing so many different videos, so I need to do more research on being vegan. In present day, right now, I don't really eat meat. So I wouldn't call myself a vegetarian, because once in a blue moon, I might have a piece of chicken or something, or salmon or something like that. I do keep salmon in my diet. I keep a lot of fish. Well, one, with PCOS, I was reading and it was like, oh, you could try salmon if you want to cut out meat. Like, there's so many different just ideas and different suggestions out there that you should do with PCOS, but the main thing seems to be plant-based diet. So I'm struggling with going completely vegan. I've been trying different vegan foods for the past month. I have switched out my yogurt for So Delicious brand vegan yogurts, which are okay. I just kind of put them in my smoothies. I've always kind of been a healthy person when it comes to the way I eat. But obviously, I mean, if you're vegan, you're going to argue that meat and animal products should be cut out altogether. For me, it's that lifestyle. I'm just not sure how to transition into it. It's not something that I'm against. I totally understand the vegan movement, and it's more than just food and plants. It's just about the environment, animals, everything in general. I get that. It's just one of those things where you've kind of just been, I'm a creature of habit. I've been living this way my entire life, so to completely change is scary. And then also it's an adjustment, a lifestyle adjustment, but I feel like my body is talking to me and it's telling me, Ashley, you need to make some changes. You need to switch out what you're doing. My body completely rejects certain types of meat altogether. So I know for a fact meat is an issue, and I'm really starting to believe that animal products are a problem. I know that when I drink chocolate milk, or if I have anything with milk or dairy based, I get sick. The only thing I don't get sick from is eggs. Not even like extremely sick or anything. I just have to go to the bathroom or something like that. So I'm starting to cut out dairy and meat, which is scary for me, guys. So pray for me, because this is not something that I'm used to, but I want to take care of myself and I want my body to heal and I want to get better. So I wanted to talk to you guys about just my routine and my health and my fitness and what I've been doing to get better and take care of myself. So like I said, I am slowly switching my diet, routine, and lifestyle around. Obviously, when you have PCOS or just in general, I feel like diets aren't realistic. I feel like a lifestyle change is what's best. I mean, a diet is temporary. A lifestyle change is obviously a lifestyle change. It's forever. So I have really been considering just cutting out meat altogether and just kind of adopting a plant-based situation, like a plant-based diet. So that's one of the things that I'm going back and forth about. I'm not exactly sure yet if I'm going to completely do that. I mean, it sounds like the best way to go, and from the research that I've been doing, I have been kind of just coming to that conclusion, and based on what my body is telling me and how my body's reacting to things, it seems to be the best thing to do. But we will see. I am going to try it out for a while and see how I feel, and yeah, I'll let you guys know, geez, at some point, how things are going. Fair? I did read that with PCOS, it is not good to overwork out. I've seen this in a lot of articles, and I've seen a lot of people give advice that working out too hard can put too much stress on your body, and obviously when you have PCOS, stress is not a good thing for you. That's one of the things I've read. The stress is not good, and I've been going through a lot of stress this year in general. I know that's something that could be contributing to my situation because I have had a very stressful life the past year, but it's getting better, and I'm learning to not let things stress me out. So the physical aspect of stress, I have learned to kind of space out my workouts and I don't go too hard. Like I might do like an hour in the gym every other day, and then on the off days I might just go to the park and walk. I've read that running and doing extensive weightlifting and stuff like that is not the best for PCOS. I have to find a happy balance in between from what I've experienced. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you guys what's best for you or if you even have PCOS. If you feel like you do based on what I've been saying I found in myself, then you need to go see a doctor. I am not a doctor. I can't help you. Also learned that weight loss is hard for people with PCOS. I've learned that it's harder for us to lose weight, which I've noticed. I didn't have an issue losing weight in the past, but I've also never gone this hard at workouts or exercising. I have been working out and exercising a lot more than usual, and my body this week I have to rest because my body is screaming at me like, what are you doing? And then I've been reading that working out extensively and weightlifting and all that kind of stuff, when you do it too much, is not good for people with PCOS, and it can cause a lot of stress on your body. So I kind of wanted to take a break, and my body's kind of reacting and telling me like, relax, okay? So I've been doing that. But one way that I have been tracking my health and fitness situation is by my Fitbit. I wanted to do a video on this separately, but I'll include it right now. So I do have a Fitbit. Kudos to my boyfriend for getting it for me. And I have been tracking my steps, what I've been eating, my weight loss, water intake. Like, this thing is amazing. It really helps you. So honestly, I believe outside of a plant-based diet, this is one of the best things you could invest in for PCOS. I have the app, obviously the Fitbit app, down on my phone, and I just want to show it to you guys because it's honestly like so amazing. It's really been helping me with everything. So today I've been filming videos and I haven't been going anywhere. I'm just walking around my house, so I don't have very many steps in, but I just wanted to show you guys, which I'll put like some screenshots up on because you can't really see on my phone. But yeah, like, it tracks your steps, it tells you how many steps you get in within the hour, it tracks your calories burned, all based on this little bracelet. It tells me how long I slept, how much sleep I'm getting. That's another thing. Sleep is so important for women with PCOS. If you do not get enough sleep, it can really be like harmful to your body. It is very good to get a nice amount of sleep. I believe they recommend 8 to 9 hours. I believe it actually tells you on here how much sleep they recommend. But this is actually just like a little graph of the sleep that I've been getting all week. And I've been trying to meet a goal. You can set a goal for how much sleep you want to get. You can set weight loss goals. You can set water goals, like your water intake. Like, this thing is so like helpful. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I love this thing. And just writing down, and it also can tell you when you track your food how many calories you're eating. Like, you don't even have to know. Sometimes you can just type in like salad, or, well, not that basic. Obviously you would need to like say what kind of salad or a cheeseburger, whatever it is you're eating. Type it in and it will tell you. It'll even pick up where it's from. If you type in where it's from, it'll tell you how many calories from that specific place this cheeseburger is, and you just log it in and say that's what you ate that day, and it'll tell you how much you should be eating like for the rest of the day, how many calories you have left. It's just honestly the greatest investment ever. This one retails for $129. This is not sponsored by Fitbit, guys. I'm telling you that I have invested in this for my own health, and I think it's one of the most amazing things invented. I mean, obviously there's other fitness trackers and step things, but this one I just feel like is so thorough, and it really does like tell you what you need to know. And for someone like myself who has a health issue, and my health issue is mainly based on what I'm eating and my exercise, what more could you ask for? So women who have PCOS, invest in a Fitbit. I promise you, it will help you so much. It is actually keeping me disciplined. It goes off when I've been sitting around for too long. Like, throughout this video, it was just like, hey, get up and go work out. Like, get some exercise, or let's do 10 steps. Let's get 15 steps in. It really does tell you those things, and it kind of just goes off on your arm and says, hey, you've been sitting for too long. So I love it. It really helps me just kind of keep track of my health and fitness and what I've been eating and stuff like that. And it reminds me to eat healthy, because when you see your goals met, or if you see like your progress like kind of documented, it really inspires you. It makes you want to keep going and just be healthy. Like for me, that's what it does for me. It makes me want to just keep going and to get healthy and to work on it. And I just wanted to make this video to tell women who have PCOS, do not be discouraged. You can still lose the weight. You can still work out and be healthy and adjust to whatever lifestyle you choose as far as your eating regimen or food intake or whatever you would say. I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement to don't stop, because it can be so discouraging. Like when I heard about what I had, I was like scared, and I was like, what is that? And then when you hear polycystic ovarian syndrome, you're thinking like cysts, and then she's telling me I have cysts on my ovaries, so I'm like, do I have cancer? Like all these things went through my head, but all this disease can lead to those things if you do not nip it in the bud and get on your grind and take care of yourself. Like honestly, that's what I've been doing. And it's been working out for me so far. I've already kind of lost 4 to 5 pounds. It kind of fluctuates in between that 1 pound the past 2 weeks. But, you know, it's a little harder for us. But it's okay. It's going to get better. You just have to keep going. Like, you don't understand the struggle. Like, I call my boyfriend and I tell him, like, look, I want to give up because I've only lost 4 pounds. He's like, but it's progress. But I feel like I need more. Like, you know, I'm just one of those people that constantly needs to be stimulated and constantly wants to keep going. And when I see, like, oh, you did 10,000 steps that day, like, that's my goal for the day, 10,000 steps. And I've been meeting my goal, but it's been taking a toll on my body. So this week is my rest week, but I have been trying my best to take better care of myself and just really watching what I eat. The thing I want to just stress to you guys is to watch what you're putting in your body. You know, for years I've eaten carefree and not really cared about what I was putting in my body and just eating and eating, and I never really gained weight like that. I've always been the same weight. Even since high school, I might have put on like 10 to 15 more pounds after high school, but nothing serious, and I've kind of stayed that way. But this year I'm turning 30, and it hit me out of nowhere. This weight just packed on, and I was like, hold up, what is happening? Oh no, we got to do something. And I feel better physically and emotionally. In general, I feel better just even when eating better. Like, it's insane how much food makes such a difference in just the way you feel, the way your body looks, everything. And it really does matter what you're putting inside your body. You know, it's something that I really have been like conscious of lately. I wash all my vegetables off when I get them, even though they're organic. The one thing, I did not stress, is eating organic when you have PCOS. It's so important. Outside of a plant-based diet, you should be eating organic. You should be just cleaning your plants and vegetables when you get them. Your plants and vegetables. You should be cleaning your vegetables and fruits when you get them. If you guys want to kind of see like a food diary video of what I eat like on a weekly basis, let me know and I'll put it up for women who have PCOS or just people who are curious in general, like what I'm putting in my body. Let me know and I will make a video for you guys. Yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys and give you a heads up and let you know what's going on with me. Pray for me that I stay on the right track and I don't fall off the wagon. Yeah, and just, you know, stay strong, guys. Stay strong. It's definitely something you can overcome and you can heal, because I've seen so many success stories of women healing themselves. So it's not something that is permanent. It doesn't have to be. So yeah, love you guys. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.